All right, hi Sally. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions, if that's all right.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. To start off with, what are the personal qualities you have that make you a good practitioner?
Well, I believe I possess some excellent communication skills in both speaking and listening. So actually for my current job at the moment, I am a health food blogger and author. So I've kind of generated quite good communication skills through the work that I do already. And I think that really leads me into being able to listen to a patient's concerns and goals and talk them through an action plan clearly, without using medical jargon or scientific jargon, which is set to confuse them. So it's really about knowing your audience and making sure that you deliver information clearly for that audience. And I feel like I'm quite adept at doing that through the work that I've done so far. And through those good communication skills, I'm able to ensure that the patient or client feels that their needs are being met, while simply explaining any relevant treatment pathways so that they understand where we're headed in terms of treatment as well. Another important quality I think I possess as a healthcare practitioner is empathy. So I guess a lot of clients are suffering from pain and discomfort, and they're part of the symptoms that they might be struggling with. So I work to ensure that they feel supported and comforted by being compassionate. I'm also a stickler for attention to detail. So I think that's a really important quality in the medical field. Any healthcare practitioner knows that any advice can have long-lasting and far-reaching consequences in a patient's life. So it's really important to pay excellent attention to detail and not to skip any steps or make any errors. So I'm really keen on making sure I do plenty of research and just be very wary of what I say and where that information comes from. And finally, I guess I work well with a range of different people and personalities. So I feel like I can adapt my conversation to suit different circumstances. And for example, like speaking to a female teenage client might use different language to that of a middle-aged male. And same with doctors, nurses and colleagues that require different styles of communication again. I'm quite adept at switching between those different interpersonal skills that are required.
Okay, awesome. That's great. Yeah, I totally agree. Those qualities are essential. So my next question, how do you keep yourself fit and healthy so you can function to your best of your abilities at work?
So I have a natural tendency actually towards being fit and healthy. It's just something that's always, I say always interested me. Until about 5 years ago, it didn't interest me at all. But I was traditionally quite unhealthy and didn't have a very good diet and doing it. And then in about, I think it was about 2013, I cut out all refined sugar from my diet along with processed foods. And that actually really helped me to manage IBS and maintain a really healthy weight. And from then, I fell in love with health and wellness and food and how that makes my body function. So recently, I trained as a yoga teacher, which was 200 hours of yoga practice in theory. And I find yoga is a really wonderful way of keeping my body physically fit, but also my mind really healthy, while helping to manage that anxiety that arises from daily stress. I also run 3 times a week to maintain cardio fitness and heart health. And I try to meditate for I only manage about 5 minutes, but I do that every morning just to practice some mindfulness. I'm also really conscious of not using my phone and things while I'm doing other tasks, such as like eating and watching a film or cooking, and stopping myself from that multitask kind of mindset allows me to be present in all the things that I do, and help me work more mindfully. I guess my motivations for adding in yoga and running and meditation and this healthy diet it's not about punishment for me, it's about feeling good. So it helps me get a clear mind and gives me more energy to tackle work and function at the best of my ability. And I think that's really important as a health practitioner to kind of do as you would like your patients to do as well, and live that experience and know how difficult it can be at sometimes to maintain that healthy balance. So for me, it's also part of understanding where a client is coming from as well.
Well, awesome. Well, that's really good. I totally agree. So that leads me to my last question. What are your professional boundaries in the workplace like?
So my legal, ethical and professional standards are like of the utmost importance to me. I think clients can often be in a vulnerable position both mentally and or physically, which needs to be treated with the utmost of respect. My boundaries are kind of guided by the Australian Institute of Professional Counsellors. I found that to be pretty helpful. That's the 5 guiding principles of therapeutic boundaries. And so my aim really as a health practitioner for myself is to provide honest and fair service to everyone, regardless of, I suppose, their ethnicity and background and sex and things like that. To do no harm and to promote what is good for the client at all times, and to encourage their independent thinking and decision making rather than me leading, I suppose, the discussion all the time. It's really to encourage them to do a bit of self-exploration and decision making. So I think that's really important. I'm also really mindful of confidentiality requirements and sensitive to different cultures and traditions. In the past, I've worked in Western Sydney, working with very different demographics in terms to actually do obesity prevention. So that gave me some really good insight into different cultures, traditions, languages, and things like that. It's a bit of a melting pot of different people there, and that actually gave me heaps of experience in kind of communicating with those different audiences, which I think was really helpful. I also take into account clients' unique situation, their personality, culture and history to determine therapeutic effectiveness. So I'm aware that each client might respond differently to different treatments, and therefore I think a judgment needs to be made on a case-by-case basis as a healthcare professional to know what to approach that particular case. I also like to balance that professionalism with my aforementioned empathy as part of a well-constructed treatment plan. So this enables me to build an effective therapeutic relationship with a client along with their trust, so that they can better benefit from the treatment. And I think finally, I'm very mindful in respect to the wishes of the patient, whether they be religiously or socially or otherwise driven. It's really important to take those into account for the benefit of the relationship and also, as I was saying, for the effectiveness of treatment.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for that, Sally. That was great, and that brings the interview to an end.
Thank you.